your buns up by bed. It's a good day once again. Let's get going. How you guys doing? Yeah. So I have something that's on my mind that I want to talk about. It's a story. Let me tell you a story, an experience of mine over a year ago. Uh, it's a good one, I guess. It's it's a moment of experiencing trust in the real time when all else fails and you think you want to just give up. So here we go. So last year was like towards the end of the school year for Owen, and we're going on a field trip. Mind you, I was excited about it. You know, we got our lunches packed, so we're going to have a lunch together and all that stuff too. But we weren't meeting at the school. I was meeting at the place where they were having uh, their field trip. Never meeting the teacher. There was no plan at all for me. So I went in blind, and I waited. And then when I got there was the whole state of Maine. Like all the school districts were there. So it wasn't just under my assumption that there was just their school. It was all the schools. So we had buses after buses. There was hundreds of buses. Maybe not hundreds, but there was quite a few. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for Owen's bus and waiting for all these kids to go by. And it's already like, I don't know, half hour. And I'm starting to get this feeling of unease that maybe I missed them or I was waiting at the wrong gate. So I started looking around for people, the faces that I could, I didn't know their names, but I could see and make face recognition. Maybe I could understand, maybe I could find someone that was in Owen's class and maybe we could lead up to the class, right? So I started walking and I'm walking and I couldn't find anybody. No one would make eye contact. No one, I wasn't outwardly, I was afraid to go out and ask for help to see if I could find anything. So it was my fault too. So I walked around I figured, you know what? It's been almost an hour. I haven't found his class. I'm going to give up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day. Owen's going to be extremely disappointed, but I'm just going to go back to my car and head back home because this fairgrounds was so big and there was so many school students and kids with different colors. I didn't even know the color codes they were using at this point. So needless to say, I was getting a little nervous, but that feeling of fight or flight, well, basically just trying to give up. Well, then I happened to start walking back to the gate that I walked in on. And if I had just stayed there, I probably would have found Owen, but I did. Something told me to go to the back gate, and I did. So I started walking back to the midway, and I happened to see somebody that was a familiar face. And it was somebody from Owen's class, a parent that I recognized. And I'm telling you, it was like an instant relief. I was like, wow. I looked up in the sky, and I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean? Because here I was on my way out. So I met up with this other individual and explained my situation. She was in the same situation. And we were both trying to look for the same classroom and we wasn't prepared. But at this point, I felt more comfortable because I was with another person doing the same thing. So it was very humbling, but more grateful. And this story is so nice because I never had the opportunity to say thank you to this person. Okay. I wanted to say thank you to, but I never met up with him after that. We left. But I ended up we ended up finding the class together and we ended up being with the class, and Owen's face was just, when he saw me, he had a feeling that I wasn't going to find him, but I found him. So to me, it was a moment where just trusting in not forcing and allowing the moment that was already prepared for me to be prepared and just follow it. So it was a great field trip, and we were able to eat lunch together, and then Owen was able to go home because I was there. He didn't have to ride the bus. So I never had a chance to say thank you to this wonderful soul that I met up with that was part of Owen's class. And she was so kind and understanding. I would have never known that she was feeling the same way I was. She held her composure. And so over a year later, we're talking the next school year. Yesterday, or the day before, we were waiting to pick up Owen. And then we're talking second grade now. I meet the same person, we're talking. And it was funny how it happened. She was frustrated for some reason during the day, and some other things had happened to her. And I didn't realize that's why she moved over towards me until after the fact. So I didn't think anything of it. So the next day, or not the same day, we were waiting for the kids to come through, and her kid was being a little rambunctious and stuff. And I said, "You're so lucky." And she looked at me and she goes, "Really? I'm lucky?" And she had no idea because she was in a state of mind where she was just flustered. I can understand it. But I was in a moment where I felt the need to tell her that she was very lucky to be having the opportunity without having to say anything else. Well, then the kid had a little issue. And she looked right at me and she goes, "Thanks, you cursed me." And I was like, put my hands up. I'm like, "No, well, the intention wasn't to curse you." So not understanding and not taking it personal either, but I didn't want that being left there. So I got thinking all afternoon of what I could do to approach her the next day to say, "I don't want you to have this as something that you remind me of. Like, I don't want you to think that I curse people." So the next day, I'm going to pick up the kids, and I was thinking about what I was going to give her, you know what I mean? So I found something that we got in a loot box, and it was something that said, what did it say? It was something nice. It was something about believing in something, and magic and new beginnings, so to speak. So anyway, I gave it to her, and she said that she was just kidding. And I was like, well, I didn't want to leave on this relationship on a negative thing. And she's like, "Well, no, I was just joking with you. I wasn't serious." And I said, "Well, here you go. I want to give you a gift, and I don't want nothing in return. But another thing I want to tell you is this gift that I'm giving you is part of, do you remember the field trip we went on, and we found each other, and we were trying to find Owen's class and your son's class?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Well, I never gave you the opportunity to say how much I appreciated your help that day, because it was emotionally and physically helpful." So I let her know how I appreciated that. So, and then I left, and then I went back and grabbed my stuff and then picked up Owen. But it was just something that I wanted to express, that if we love each other and we love ourselves enough, if we love each other enough, and actually, this guy's trying to be a smart ass, so I'm going to read this. Quick question. Who is the prize, man or woman, objectively, not in your personal relationship? Please provide objective metrics from which one you pick. Very confused on the question, but thank you for the like anyway. And this is not the same video. It's the other video. And if you want to know what I meant by that, is your love is no different whether you're a male or a female. Your love is the same. So what prize is that? And I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything like that. But my question is there is no difference in love. whether you're a man showing love or a woman showing love. That's all it meant. The confusion, there is none. So, just to leave you with that. But the conversation, I mean, I just want to say thank you. I never even got her name. I don't even know who she is. She doesn't even know who my name is. And I'm okay with that because at this point, I'm just grateful for the experience, learning that I had to trust in the moment. She was the opportunity that helped that in the process. So thank you for whoever you are. I'll probably see you today. I'll give you a wave. But trust is the thing that I'm working on the most, and expressing a better way of that. So, yeah, I wish I could click on you. So, yeah, kind of chilly this morning. It just turned 40 degrees, but when I woke up, it was like 37 degrees today, this morning. So, borderline frost. So, yeah, just glad to be on here and grateful. Like I said, just showing some consistency. Hopefully, I don't have to do too many lot more lives. This is kind of challenging in a way too. So I don't really feel that I need to show any physical presence to be known. But here I am, trusting in the opportunity, hoping maybe someday this will all be explained to me and why I'm doing it. But maybe not. Thanks for coming in the live. How you doing? How's your day? Come in and make a comment. Where you from? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was a neat story, and I was pretty vague about it. To me, it's not really. I don't want to embarrass her, even if she happens to watch this or whatever. I don't want to have her feel embarrassed whatsoever because it was she was very kind and sweet. She's a sweetheart, and I feel that from her already, and I don't even really know her. So, because there was so many other people there that day. If you understood, I made eye contact with many people, and no one dared to even ask me if I needed any help. You know what I mean? So I had to take it amongst myself and trust in something higher than me. And then around the corner, boom, it all happened. So, yeah, it's gratitude, appreciation, and expressing my unconditional love and my light. Because she could have not. I mean, obviously, she must have been in some form of state of mind too. And I kind of did the same thing for her. It kind of like eased her mind that she found somebody that she could relate to too. So I didn't really look at it that way. I looked at it as it was a gift, so to speak, for both of us. Because I think, God's ever present. And I think God knew that both of us were looking for the same class, And so it all worked out pleasantly. But yeah, I don't even know her name. And I even talked to her yesterday. And I didn't even bother to ask. It didn't matter to me for some reason. I mean, we made eye contact and during the conversations and everything. So I felt that I already knew the person forever. And I don't know how she felt, but I didn't feel it was important to ask her name. I wish I had, because I still don't know who she is, like her name, but I know her face. So I appreciate, maybe someday, maybe today, I'll ask her name. And I'm kind of excited about that too, because it's nice because it's been a long time for me being social and in in the community and stuff. And I changed my perception of how I perceive myself in the community. I used to be all bubbly and happy, and energetic, but that's sometimes is overwhelming to people, and people are standoffish to that. So I maintain my peace inward and my love. And if I'm approached by somebody, I'm kind and loving. So I don't need to do any more than that. Just be in the present and be myself. That's all I need to do. I know who I am. And that's all that really matters, really, because it's the most important thing to know that you love yourself more than anything else, because it gives you the respect. It gives you everything that you need, the confidence to know that you stand in your own light, in your own power, and it'll be seen. What is real will always be seen, and the fake will reveal itself. Thanks for the 3 that are in here. I appreciate it. You guys coming in. If you guys would like, please hit the like button. It helps the channel. It helps the energy and the vibes and the direction that the channel wants to go in, because the channel is not in my control per se. I've given up on the theory of numbers, and because my numbers are all there, and the perception of it will happen on its own divine timing. So you guys do as you will. I try to make it a point every time I go into someone's live. I always like it. And I stay enough time to ask questions and have a little conversation with the live that's going on, because it helps the watch time and it helps the movement of the channel. And we should all be doing that in a positive way. It's not a bad thing to try to show support that way, you know. But either way, I'm not here to impress anybody or woo. I'm me, and you're you. But I said earlier that I was going to cut these short too, because I think 20 minutes is max. 17, 20 minutes, 19 minutes is good enough for these lives until I get more movement. I don't feel like, if I'm on here and I'm feeling that I'm wasting my time because I could be doing something more valuable with my time, then that's what I'm going to do. And it's got nothing to do with it personally with YouTube or anything like that. Is I realize how important my time is. And if my time isn't being utilized here with nobody in here, then it's, you know what I mean? I'm not going to continue doing it. So, and whoever this person is, I don't know what you're talking about, because this does not relate to the conversation on this video. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the other video that you're retaining to, because to me, it's not even a subject to even talk about. All right. I'll see you guys later.